I'm not gonna drive you crazy. You classy like Mercedes. Every time I see you, I just want you to be my lady. You got it, I see it, baby, yeah, you got it. You got more curves than a Bugatti. You got my love, that's a true shot. You got it.
What's good, everybody? It's your girl, KAE, back again for another episode on the Kissing Booth. And you know, like always, we are not alone. I have a dope special music artist in the building today. Go ahead and tell them who you are.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy H3THEARTIST. Clayco's on up here in the building, man. I'm happy to be here with you.
Shout out to Clayco. Yes, we have another person from Clayco in the building. You know, we got to show Clayco some love. And I am so happy for you to be up in here, H3. Like I said, I didn't know that you were that young and that talented. You guys, that song that you just heard was definitely his. Make sure you guys check him out on all streaming networks and platforms, including Apple Music, Spotify, all that. He's on there. So, H3, I really want you to let my viewers know who you are because I like showing the South Side some love, and I want people to understand that we do have a lot of talented people out there, including yourself. So go ahead and tell us your life story, your life journey. Who is H3 the artist?
All right, so my name is H3 the artist. H3 plus is considered to be a God element, and some people believe that it created the universe, but I took that with the meaning of feeling like I got my own sound and my own message that I'm trying to spread. So it's like the beginning of something new.
Okay.
And using the artist part because there's a lot of different things that I'm into when I do acting, singing, producing, filmmaking, all that type of stuff. So I don't want to just make myself just be one thing, but it's just like a musical artist, but it's like artist in a way of just creating anything I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's just a vision or something that I could give to people that is like an emotional feeling. Because, you know, we go through a lot with life, and I feel like media and art forms is a great things for people to cope with. So that's definitely just something I want to help people with.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep saying that's dope, but that's actually very an intelligent response to to describe your music, to describe who you are. A lot of artists, like I've met, they'll say, the same old thing, but for you to actually have a breakdown and a real meaning behind what your music is and how you want to have your influence for your listeners and your supporters, I think that right there is a good impact on our community. Because you don't really see many people. And how old are you?
20.
So yeah, you don't see many 20-year-olds making music to inspire their community.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that a lot. So tell me a little bit also too, as a young kid, when did you start falling in love with music? Well,
my dad actually, he's always done music. And he was in the music industry actually, like in the early 2000s. He was signed to Universal under Gene Griffin, and he wrote and produced. He actually had a song that was on Billboard at one time.
Wow!
So I always grew up around it. I had a studio in my house, and my cousins, cause my dad from South Carolina, my cousins used to come down and record with my dad all the time. So I used to sit in there and I'd play the game while they'd be recording on the other side of like our garage. And that's just something that I've always been around. My dad on the weekends making music. My mom sung too. Music played around my house all the time. So I just come from a musical, creative household. And originally I was really into video because I used to have a YouTube channel. I used to make stop motion animation videos.
Really?
Yeah, when I was like in like the 5th and 6th grade.
Okay.
And then I started learning how to actually animate with a program one time. And I had like a little short series I made when I was in the 8th grade. But I was making music at that time too because I made the music for it and I voiced over at the same time. So
that is really, you're multifaceted and multi-talented at the same time. That's like, you literally know how to do film, you know how to produce, and also too, you act, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's lead a little bit about that.
Okay.
What was one of your favorite projects that you've done so far with your acting career and trying to move into the actor world as well?
Well, I've done a few things. I've done kind of like from the bottom to the top of things. Like extra work, small stand-in work. I've done, like music video stuff, shooting it. But my favorite thing I've done so far is coming out this year. It's a movie called The Gangster's Daughter.
Okay.
And that was real fun to do. Y'all catch me now. I don't want to say too much about it.
Okay, but can we at least know what network so that we can be on the lookout for it?
It will be on Tubi.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shout out to Tubi. I love it. Yeah, congratulations.
And hopefully, I was an extra actually in Chloe Bailey's new movie she got with Drewski coming out called Praise This.
Okay.
I'm in the big finale scene that's probably at the end of the movie. So hopefully they didn't cut me out and you guys see me on there.
I hope you didn't cut out this talented man.
Yeah.
I hope you guys didn't. But that is really dope. I am proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm definitely proud of
Seriously,
you. So let's get into this new single because it was dope and my listeners were able to listen to it tonight. What was the musical inspiration behind You Got It? Because it speaks to us women.
Yeah.
And I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
But tell me, what was your inspiration behind You Got It?
Well, really, I made that beat first. So when I was making that beat, I knew I wanted to make something that had like a groove to it because I like using different type of shaker samples and hi-hats and stuff because a lot of music just use like typical hi-hats that just roll over and over again. Right. So I wanted to add like a little bit of like its own groove to it with the shakers being in there. And then once I did that 808 the way the bass line went, I was like, I got to make something that like got that same groove to it. So I started writing that hook. And actually originally my dad actually had a song called You Got It. That's kind of similar to that song, but he like chopped his voice up in like this sample way. Okay. So I wanted to do it in like a full singing way. And then I've always made songs for the ladies because I feel like, you know, y'all deserve some respect, you know what I'm saying?
I love that.
And I feel like y'all the best supporters out here, you know what I'm saying? So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that outlook. So outside, because you mentioned your dad a lot. So outside of your dad, who else are your musical influences or the people that you look up to in the music industry?
I say J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. I'm a big Nas fan. I've liked Nas since like middle school.
See, now me and you got it. Me and you, we locked in. As soon as you say Nas, it's over with. That is my favorite artist. That is my favorite artist.
Nas is cold.
Yes, yes. Okay, and well, let me ask this question because you also a baby, so this will kind of let me figure out what type of Nas fan are you. Are you the '90s Nas fan or are you the now Nas fan?
I'm a '90s Nas fan, but it's a lot of stuff. I grew up playing a lot of video games, so a lot of his music that was like in the early 2000s got placed like on midnight clubs and all that. So I know them songs. But Illmatic, Stillmatic, them like really the ones. Godson is hard.
You in there. You in there. Okay, you certified. You certified. Okay. Well, I think that's really dope. And I was looking through your catalog and I can kind of hear those musical influences throughout your catalog that you named. And I like that. I really do like that. But we're not going to just skip over a really big thing that you've accomplished recently. You were nominated at the Black Soul Awards. Yeah. How was that feeling?
That was dope. I've been nominated, I think, this is 2023. So I've been nominated 3 times. Okay. For the Black Only Awards and the Black Soul Awards. I haven't won anything yet from those, but the way I look at it, the win is in the nomination because everybody didn't get nominated. So just for my name to even be in something like that is truly a blessing. But
most definitely.
I just stay level headed with everything because it's definitely dope. But at the same time, there's still more to achieve. And I don't just look at it like, oh yeah, I got a nomination. So it's just like I'm big hot shot like I made. Like it's so much stuff I want to do. And cause I was talking with a guy one time before. He asked me, how do I keep myself grounded with like the feelings of things? And let's say you become Nas, for example, right? Right. Nas got as big as he did as an artist, right? And it's dope that Nas is what he's at. But there's somebody that's above Nas and there's people that's below Nas. Right. So there's always more that you can achieve and more that you can do. So I don't just get complacent and happy with just where I'm at. It's just I got to keep looking for it. And I take everything as a blessing and I'm happy for it. But I got to keep the work going. So
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. And since you brought that up, that leads me into my next question. Since you have your hands in so much stuff within artistry within itself, how do you push through your creative blocks that you might come across or any type of performance anxiety that may come about? How are you able to be like, okay, this is game time, I got to do it, or okay, this is what I'm doing this time? Okay. Well, the first thing I can answer that I figure is short, and something I want to say also to other performers. I watched a video one time, and the guy was talking about anxiety, right? And he said that the same feeling you get before you're about to be excited is the same feeling you get when you're about to be anxious. And having control over your emotions is like a really important thing, I think, just as a human being, but especially as a performer. And when I heard him say that, I thought about before you get like nervous or anxious or whatever, it feel the same right at the beginning. But this is what you do with your mind, how you perceive that moment that take you to that next thing. So that's what I started doing with performing. I just feel like I just need to be, I'm having fun. Like you should be excited. Even if you mess up, so what? You know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. That's how I look at it. And I performed a lot. I've been doing shows and stuff at the club since I've been like 16. So really? Yeah. What was your favorite since you've been performing and doing everything, what was your favorite performance so far that you have done in your career?
My first show and a show I did recently in October, I did a musical festival at Creative Block.
Okay.
But my first show actually was hosted by Soulja Boy's label, SODMG.
Okay.
And it actually was a contest for a distribution deal, and I actually won. Yeah, but yeah, that was my first show. That was my first ever show.
And you won it.
I was 16. I was the youngest person there. Wasn't even supposed to be in there.
Look,
yeah,
but that's what you're supposed to do. Because I've noticed too, when I do go, because I do go out to different venues and I do go out to different clubs to meet new artists. And I don't know if that's how I met you, or did we? I think we met maybe filming or something like that. I don't remember how I met you exactly, but I do go out and I look at all the performance, and there be people that actually pay to get in to perform their music in there. So I actually appreciate that dedication, especially coming from the younger people that really want to push their music, that really wanted people to get out there and hear their voice. There's no limits, and I like how you don't limit yourself, or you don't put yourself in a box to say, okay, well, I could do it this when I get this age. You're doing it now, and you're making your mark now, and you're doing a really good job.
I appreciate it.
I want to give you your kudos, because you're really doing a good job out here being an independent artist and really touching people. And your music, it has a message, and everybody can listen to it.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's not like, okay, this is the directed audience that can listen to my songs. It's for everybody, young, old. It's going to get you up. It's going to get you in the vibe. It's going to make you feel good. So, like I said, I appreciate that coming from you. Now, I want to dive in a little bit and just ask a little question, because we talk about the good a lot and we don't really express the difficult times. So what would you say was your most difficult moment so far in your career as a musician?
As a musician, I think the hardest thing you deal with as a musician until you get to not even just as a musician, anybody that has a passion for something, until you get to where it's stable or making like consistent revenue for you to live how you live in. I would say probably would be balancing security, like financial security, but then also paying for what I need to have done with music at the same time. That's probably one of the most important things.
Okay. So since we're gonna dive back in, I wanted to ask a quick question, because you have a map and you have a guide to where you kind of want to go. So where do you see yourself musically in 5 years?
Musically in 5 years? I see myself musically in 5 years definitely having like a really huge catalog, touring, having a huge loyal fan base, and just like being like building myself to be like an icon. Like, that's what I see.
I love that. I love that. I also see too that this song is trending a little bit. Well, it's starting to trend. You have people that are making dances off of this song, and I love that. So the fact that you can see yourself really where you're supposed to be moving forward, the fact that you already have your loyal fan base doing their dances and they're putting your music out there to where we can know who you are, I do respect that a lot.
Appreciate it.
So I have another question. Since you say that you like to do the music, the producing, what do you prefer more? Do you prefer the artist side of it? Do you prefer the producing side of it? What do you like to do the most?
It come and go like in swings. Like some months I'll enjoy like just writing something.
Okay.
Then there'll be some months where I just make beats. I'll make a bunch of beats. But then like recently I just been going through all the beats that I made before and just writing songs to them. So it's like it just come and go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So I know that earlier you gave one piece of advice that somebody has given you so far in your career. What is overall that advice? What would you consider the best advice that you've gotten so far in your career?
I've gotten a lot of advice from a lot of different people. Like I say, my dad talked to me all the time about stuff. But there's this guy named Rap Juggernaut. I don't know if you remember me or not, but he does a lot of different content videos about just the music industry and all kind of stuff. But he spoke at an event I went to because he won an award. He actually won an award at the Black Only Awards.
Okay.
And he was coming to get his award. But when he was talking to everybody, he was making it clear to all the artists in there that, the whole thing of viewing yourself as a business and telling everybody that, nothing's fair in this industry and that everything is about leverage and what you can bring to the table or what you make out of yourself. And I feel like that's something that everybody need to hear going into this starting forward, because there's a lot of artists that, because they go from being in a fan position of seeing like somebody won this award or did this and that. Like it's a lot that goes into that. Like a lot of people think because they see somebody perform at the Grammys that they're at this level of whatever. Like performing at the Grammys is a marketing tool too.
Right.
Because that night when you performing at the Grammys, it's somebody's mom that didn't know who you were, and then they went, "Oh, that's such and such." So just because you see people at certain levels, it's still another position. Like I always say that you're trying to get to. It's levels to this entire industry. So
Right.
I feel like that's the most important thing. Just understand this business and understand that you have to make yourself valuable and have leverage.
You're very knowledgeable for your age. I would definitely say that. That is a dope outlook to have, and that actually keeps you very humble as well too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's your parents or your upbringing, but they did a good job with you.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Appreciate it.
So when you do perform, what is that feeling that you get when you see people in the audience saying or singing along to your song? How does that make you feel?
It's dope. It's a real dope feeling. It's showing me that like it's different when you put a song out and you see, okay, maybe it got so many streams, but I didn't see that person streaming it. And it's cool like seeing people do dances and stuff too,
Right.
because I'm seeing what I'm trying to do is literally being done. Like I'm creating a memory for somebody, I'm creating an emotion for somebody, creating a feeling for somebody, and that's all it's really about. So I love it. It's great.
Oh,
One of my favorite things to do.
I like to hear that. So who would be your dream collab?
I want to produce for Summer Walker because I think that would be hard.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to produce for Summer Walker. But as far as an artist, I don't know, it's so many. But I think if I got a Cole verse, that'd be hard. If Cole gave me a 16,
Okay.
that'd be hard. Yeah.
Look, J. Cole, he the 16.
Yeah, I need
okay?
the 16.
Gotta definitely shout everybody out. He need that 16,
I need
okay?
that 16,
all right,
yeah.
all right. So I want to know also too, because like I mentioned earlier, your lyrics bring out a lot of inspiration that gets people on their feet. Where do you draw that from? Like what inspires you to want to inspire other people through your music? Excuse me.
I feel like just living life and like knowing the feeling of like just being down or something, and then like what music can do to fix that. Like certain songs, bring out different type of emotions. Some songs like get you hype, or some songs make you sad, but it's not making you sad in the fact of like wanting you depressed, but it's just making you have a moment of thinking or outlook at something. So I feel like I think about that when I write. Definitely, like what do I want people to feel, or like if I felt this way, what would someone say to me that would make me feel better? So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, to dial back, I know that you talked about how when you were in middle school, you did your own film.
Yeah.
Do you want to actually get back into directing as well now that you're, older and you have the access and you're getting into the acting field?
Yeah.
Would you ever want to produce your own film again?
I definitely would want to, but the biggest thing I've learned over this year of being around more like actual productions is how difficult this thing is, and it's way more difficult than music. So it's definitely a lot different, but I'm up for the challenge, definitely. So when the time is right, I've actually been writing some scripts recently, so looking forward to something. And you act too, right?
Yeah. Look, now you're bringing up my little thing. Yes, back when I was younger, I did do a lot of acting, dancing, performing. Yeah, and I used to write some poetry, and I wrote a book. I got a couple of things too.
All right. I'm gonna have to cast you for something.
Well, please do. I'm trying to put my face out there, so let me know. I'm in full support of it. Definitely. Now I know most of my questions were geared to music, but I also want to flip it and ask the same questions for producing. As far as the music industry, what do you think that the future state is for a music producer out here? Because we do have a lot of people producing music, and a lot of people aren't, they have a certain sound. So what do you see the future of the music industry now?
I think it's really tough to gauge nowadays because there's so many different variables. What makes something hot, what people consider something to be hot. So it's really tough to answer, but if I had to take a guess, I think the early 2000s is definitely about to come back. It's already starting to come back.
It is.
I think the early 2000s feeling is definitely going to come back. And I personally think that my generation and the people a little older than me that we're gonna bring back the whole thing of music having more substance in it. I don't think ever though that.
So.
But here's the thing too, because I mean, the other music make a lot of money.
It does.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
It makes that fast money.
Yeah, it make that fast money. So I think that's always going to be like the front, but the next thing right behind it will probably be us with the substance thing. Like you'll have more J. Cole's that can be like actual stars, and it's not like it's just J. Cole. You know what I mean?
And more H3s.
And more H3s, yes. But it wasn't only H3, but we have...
No, it's somebody out there that's listening to you right now and is like, okay, I aspire to be that.
Yeah.
So you never know who out there really, you know, is feeling the vibe and want to be a part of the wave.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that. Well, I'm happy that you came on the show today.
Definitely.
And you're always welcome back. So anytime you have a project, just let me know. I would love to well, do we have anything to look forward to? I know you just dropped the single, so do we have an actual project to look forward to?
Well, you got a music video to look forward to. You got a lyric video to look forward to. You got a visualizer to look forward to. You got performances to look forward to. So it's a lot of stuff I have in store. A lot of stuff I actually have with acting that's actually coming up. I just landed a role last week. So you guys gonna see a lot from me this year.
And make sure you tell my followers where to follow you at.
Follow me at H3THEARTIST on Instagram and Twitter. Type in H3THEARTIST on YouTube. Check out all my music videos. Put H3THEARTIST in on your favorite streaming platform. I'm there. And have a good time and rock out. And make sure you got it.
Yes, make sure, you guys. Make sure, please. I'm begging y'all. But no, like I said, thank you for stepping into the booth. And before we head out, I just wanted to give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors. So we want to definitely shout out Taste This with or without sauce. They are on Moreland Avenue, right next door to the Papa John's. Make sure you guys check them out. They're out there every Sunday. Get you some good old barbecue. We also want to shout out Zed the Gypsy. Thank you for producing the beat that we play on the underbeat. And guess what? We are out.
Bible, your beauty part like a rifle. I wanna know, can I slide through? You up an instant like high too. I wanna just be beside you. I cannot let no one beside you. You was a queen, baby.